Hello, welcome to the Center for Teaching Excellence video on how to create an online exam or quiz. Enter the Blackboard course you'd like, then go to the top left edition sign and click on Content area. Here you want to type in the tab name that you would like to call for online quizzes or exams. Online exams works. I'll click Available to Users so your students can see the content area. Click Submit, and here it is. So anything new always shows up at the bottom of the tabs. Go ahead and click on it, hold the button, and then drag up to an appropriate area. Alright. Click on Online Exams. And you have Build Content, Assessments, Tools, and Partner Content. I want you to go ahead and scroll over Assessments and click on the word Test. From here I want you to hit the word Create, and you can label this any name you'd like. I'm going to label this Quiz 1, a description of the quiz, maybe describe the quiz content, say something like chapters 1 through 2, anything you'd like. And in instructions you want to be precise. Please use textbook, take quiz in one sitting so they're not leaving the computer when they take the quiz, and you will have 30 minutes to complete, because you can set a timer on the quiz. And then click Submit. I should say here, under instructions, you don't have to follow my example. You can say and do anything you want as far as instructions go. Click Submit, and here you have the basic area. Go ahead and hit Create Question, because we're going to want to work on this. I think a common example is a fill-in-the-blank sort of question. So here is an example of a quiz that I was given and asked to make electronic. So it's pretty much just fill in the blank, maybe describe the diagram sort of question. So I'll work on the fill in the blank portion right now. Please fill in the blank. Question asking X, Y, and Z. So you would write the question. Then here you'd put the answer. A number of answers. Maybe there's 2 answers. For this I'll say that there's actually only 1. So I will go ahead and remove this second question, clicking Remove. And here I'll just type in a word, atom as being the answer, and this is exact match. So if they put anything like the atom, it's not going to be a correct answer. So you're going to want to change this field, and I'm going to hit Contains. So if the student writes the atom, it still would be the correct answer. Correct response feedback. If you want to leave this blank, go ahead. Or you may want to just put good job if they get the answer right. If they get the answer wrong, what you might like to do is maybe a full explanation of why the answer is wrong or why the answer is a particular correct answer. In this case, you may also just want them to read their textbook, so you could put please refer to textbook page 1. And then you could leave this area alone, and you could also leave this area alone, and go ahead and click Submit. One thing you can do at this point is go here to the drop down triangle and click on it, and then click Add Alignments, and you could find the proper alignments by going to the class you are working in. I'll just say randomly I'll pick this class, and then you could find the alignment outcome that you'd want to work in. I'll just click a random one and click Submit, and now this question is aligned to that particular learning outcome or competency. You may also want to do a diagram sort of situation. So in this case, I'll show you what you can do. I'm going to make a copy of the screen. So I'll type in snip at the bottom search window of my Microsoft desktop computer. Here it is. But what I did is I'll click new. I'll show you right here exactly what I did. And I'll drag and hold and then unhold. And I'll save this to my desktop. I'll type in QuizPick. And I know exactly where I saved that. I saved that to my desktop. And then I'll go back to Blackboard right here. I'll go to create question again. And then I'll go to hotspot. And then here on question text, I will put please select by clicking on proper figure for following question. And then you ask question X, Y, and Z. And then go to browse your computer, find the picture. I labeled it QuizPick. And then quiz question, and then I'll hit next. So now what I have to do is look in this diagram, figure out which is the correct answer that I want the students to select. So I'll click and hold and then drag over the area of the correct answer. I'll hit clear just to clear it up and select it again. Alright, and what I did is I clicked and held the button and dragged over the area, then unclicked. Again, correct response feedback, you could leave that blank. Incorrect response feedback, you could leave that blank, or you could put in why a particular answer is incorrect, or why it should be another different answer. Click submit, and now that question is selected. I'm going to hit OK. And now this is labeled quiz 1. I'll select quiz 1 right here and I'll hit submit. So this is where you put your test options. You describe the question, show test description to students before they begin the test. I like to click that. Show instructions to students before they begin the test. I also like to click that just so they're very clear before they ever start the actual quiz on what exactly they're expected to do. Open test a new window, you could click yes or no. It's automatically clicked as no, so I leave it on default. You can choose otherwise. Make link available. You want to make sure you click this or else your students will not be able to view the quiz or exam. Add a new announcement for this. I like to do that just so they get information immediately about the new quiz put up. Multiple attempts, that's up to you. If you want to be fairly generous, you could say, stuff happens, so I'll give you 2 attempts. Or you could also just leave this blank so the student only has 1 attempt. They can only submit their quiz or exam just once. If you want, you could put multiple attempts, number attempts. I think a standard number is 2, so that if something happens on that first attempt and they make a mistake, they can go back and retake the quiz or exam, and they're allowed a second chance. So you could do that. Score attempts using last grade attempt, I leave that alone. Forced completion. Now this is a forced completion, so this means that the student has to complete the quiz or exam once they've started it and click begin the quiz. I use it in order to have students to sit down just for 20 or 30 minutes or an hour, however long you make the quiz or exam, and that they're forced to complete that actual quiz in one sitting. Just like if they were in the classroom with you, the students would have 50 minutes to an hour and a half to complete the exam. So this kind of has that same sort of quality of being able to give an effective quiz or exam in one sitting. I like to set a timer. You don't have to. So I set a timer. My quizzes are usually 20 minutes long. Auto submit. So once that 20-minute is up, the quiz automatically submits. So I selected on. That's what selecting on means. The student will automatically, even if they're not finished with the quiz, have it submitted. I usually like to do it. If you're allowing multiple attempts, maybe I would select this off and I wouldn't set a timer almost. But setting a timer, I think, is a very good idea. The auto submit, that's really up to you. You could leave it off. If you don't have multiple attempts, so let's say I unclick that and the student only has one try, one chance to complete the quiz, I would probably go ahead and select auto submit so that the student's test, they only have 20 minutes and they have to submit it in those 20 minutes, and if not, it's automatically submitted. You could display after, so if I wanted to have the quiz show up today at 10:34, that would be an option, or I could have it show up later by clicking on the clock, maybe at the end of today, so at 11:59 p.m. the quiz appears, and I'll have it display until, let's say, I'll give them 48 hours. So I'll click end of day, but it'll be on August 31st. So they have exactly 48 hours to complete the quiz or exam. You can make it password related, so the student has to use a password. I leave that blank. I leave this area alone. The due date, you might want to use that as the 31st at the end of day, which is what you put as the display until date. You might also want to leave this blank in case you have a sick student or something that wasn't able to take the quiz or exam at that particular time. And in that case, you could leave that blank so that you can make it available for the student to take at a later date. Another option is do not allow students to start the test if the due date has passed. That's an option you could also put. Selecting this just gives you another indicator that, hey, this student took the test after the due date. And then if you click this button in addition, it says that the student is no longer able to take that quiz or exam after the due date. But I go ahead and leave that blank myself. Include this in test grade center score calculations. So this will make its own separate column and immediately appear on your grade book. And since you already aligned the questions themselves, then the alignments would be there. So test presentation all at once or one at a time. I personally like one at a time so the student can solely focus on the individual question and not be sort of looking around, jumping around, and seeing different questions. It's just so they can have straight focus on the particular question that I'm asking. I also like to randomize the questions just to make sure students aren't working together and that they're getting different questions at different moments and taking the quiz. I go ahead and click submit. And now that quiz is available and ready to run. And if I click on here, just to give an example of what the student sees, describe quiz content, that's what you'd write in there, whatever the quiz content covers, maybe chapters 1 and 2. Instructions, please use your textbook perhaps, or whatever other instructions you want the students to use in order to make the quiz or exam successful. Make sure they can see that it's a time test. We put a 20-minute time limit. Timer setting, this test will save and submit automatically when the time expires. Now that's a personal choice that I like. That's the auto submit on. You may want to click it off, but I like to leave it on, put it on. Force completion, once started, the test must be completed in one sitting. Do not leave this test before clicking save and submit. So the student has to finish the test. Once it starts, there's no way of stopping the timer. The student will click begin, and then they'll have their questions. And we can, as instructors, we can change the points for the particular question. So please select by clicking the proper figure for the following question X, Y, and Z. And I know that the right answer is C, so I'll click on that area. And then these are the X and Y axes selected for the points. I'll click forward if I'm the student. Remember, I'm the student at this point. If that's not the answer I want, let's say the student